Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airline Pilot, and today we are going run number 2 of the Christmas special Best of 2023 releases. And which other aircraft could it be than the ATR 72-600? Now, this one was released a little bit earlier this year, around April or so, and it's quickly turned into a favorite of many flight simmers, so obviously, we gotta feature this airplane today. We're standing here at Vasa Airport and we're going to run a quick Finnair hop 50 minutes over to Helsinki, so join me in the cockpit as we start our cockpit preparation. Now, it's absolutely been a while since I've flown this one, and for that reason, if things are going a little bit more sloppy than usual, then we'll just have to take it from there. So, let's go ahead then. Emergency equipment is checked, gear pins and covers are on board, circuit breakers are all in, it seems. Power lever 1 and 2 are in the ground idle position, the gust lock is engaged, condition levers 1 and 2 are shut off, flap lever is set in accordance with the position which is retracted, landing gear lever is down, the EEC switches are in, and then we can move ahead. So, wiper selectors are off. Okay then, battery is coming on. Here we go. And with that, the multifunction displays are going to start testing themselves. We'll just let the airplane do that, and while the airplane does it, we move over to some general setup work over here. So let's go to the aircraft menu. We want the ground power, we want the cargo doors and the main doors, and we are also going to put a tail prop in place. So, displays are starting just as they should. Then we can turn on the external power up here, and here we go. So, that's a view that we haven't had in a time on this channel, is it? I do have to say though, it does look really, really good. Okay, so the avionics are testing themselves. In the meantime, we can just go ahead and go over into our payload manager. So what we are going to do is we'll set our fuel and our payload right from the flight plan over here. So let's just quickly go over, and what do we have? Pretty close to the max takeoff weight, I gotta say. Okay then, load airplane, and we're going to load it via the zero fuel weight. And in terms of fuel, we're going to take a little bit extra. Let's make that 2,500 kilograms. Okay, start loading please. So with that, our loading is in progress. And now we can go ahead and continue with our setup. So, set flight plan would be somewhat cheating, so we are not going to do that. Instead, we are going to program our FMS manually. Alright then, so all the displays have started up. Let's go ahead and light up our airplane a little bit. Give me the dome light, if it's working please. Oh, storm light, interestingly enough, is the dome light. Only lighting up the middle down there. Well, that shall be alright. It shall suffice for what we want to do with the airplane today. Okay, so for the pre-flight, however, I am quickly going to turn the storm light on because, well, it just makes everything a little bit brighter, which is quite nice, I have to say. Okay then, so that much on this part. Let's go ahead and turn on the nav lights, and we'll also turn on the logo lights since it is rather dark. Okay, so the lights are checked, then we can have a quick check of the fuel pumps and the cross feed. All of that stuff works. Very good. Moving up to the door. Test is okay. On the flight control switches, nothing we need to do. And for the fire detection test, here we go. Alright, that's looking good. Then let's move on to the middle. The lights are set as we need them. Propeller brake is off. Engine start is off. All of that stuff looking good. Then we can continue on the third side. No device sign is certainly going to come on, and the seatbelt will come on as well. Emergency lights armed. Okay then, probe heat will turn on already since it is snowing, so we want to avoid our probes freezing up. like that, and then we can start on the third column, and over here there's pretty much nothing we even need to do. Alright, looking good. Then let's move further down to our main panel. Down here, nothing on the switching that we need to do. All that stuff is going to come once we have set up our FMS. Power management set to takeoff, as it should be. Then any skid test is looking good, and then we can do the icing test. Looking good. And APM test. Looking good. Okay then, so let's get rid of all those dozens of messages up there. Okay, just clear it all. Or can we? I do believe we should use the clear button for that, should we? Well, doesn't matter. Okay then, let's get to the pedestal. Weather radar is going to stay off, but we are going to tilt it up a little bit, and that is good. So then down here we want to listen to VHF 1 and 2, and we want to do that on both sides. Thank you. And that's it. Okay, so next we got the ATPCS test. Let's go ahead and carry that out. Looks good. Alright then, let's go into the FMS programming. Most important part of all. So, FMS. ATR 72 and the data is current. Okay, in it. So, December 24th, that's what it is when I'm recording this. Time is looking good, and all of that stuff is looking good. So, let's go position in it. We are going to take the GPS position for this. Return, nav data. Microsoft Flight Simulator database, and that one is current, I know. Okay, so we go to the flight plan in it. Route. So, from 2, we are going from Echo Foxtrot Victor Alpha towards Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo today. Here we go. Takes a little while, I do remember. Okay, execute that. So, departure, runway 16, and our SID today is going to be the Gupta 1 Alpha departure, or Gupta 1 Alpha. And we don't need any transition, execute that. Okay. So, from Gupta, we will proceed direct to Eneti. Like so. And then from Eneti, we're going to join the airway Yankee 362. And we fly that one until Lakut. Okay, execute back to the flight plan. And then Helsinki, for the arrivals, it's going to be an ILS approach onto the runway 22 right, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so which arrival do we have? Lakut 6 Alpha. Then we're going to take that. And we... Let's see, we don't have any charts available on here, unfortunately. So that means we have to just live with what we got over here. So we're going to leave out the via... Or can we just cheat? Have a look in the flight plan over here? No. Okay, execute it. Interesting, that's missing the entire arrival, is it? Well, let's just try that once again. Lakut 6 Alpha is in via... Okay, what happens if I just add Perho to this? That doesn't really look correct either, does it? Okay, well, in that case... Let's see... Want to go to the plan mode? Let's just go over this. After Lakut to Perho. That doesn't look correct. That is missing the entire star, isn't it? Okay, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not sure why it's doing this. Certainly seems like a bug though. We're just going to keep the discontinuity in there, and then we'll have to use radar vectors or something the likes. Suppose that is what I get for flying this airplane, is it? Alright, so then we can go back to the flight plan. No, give me data. Give me... Oh, come on. Well, that stuff we are going to fill out in a few moments. I basically want to return. Well, that's the secondary. Here we go, that's the primary. That's better. Oh, look at that. If we just click return all the time, we're basically stuck in an endless... we basically get stuck in an endless loop. Well, let's not bother with it. So, let's go over to the weights and start setting the stuff up over here. So, payload. Zero fuel is 2244. Fuel weight is 2500. And that stuff is all in already. Perfect. Do we have some information about the reserves? Yeah, reserve 269. Where's the alternate fuel? I can't really believe that is all. Like, where's the alternate fuel? Taxi, en route, contingency, reserve, takeoff, ramp. Where's the alternate? I'm 100% sure I did load alternate fuel, but, well, so be it, huh? So we're just going to keep it like that. We're going to use that, and we are just going to double it. So I do suppose the 600 kilograms in here are going to be fine. Okay then. So from there onto the performance page, transition altitude is going to be 6,000 in here. And that is it. Okay, performance again. Nothing that we really need to set up over here. Interestingly enough, the cruise alt is still reading something rather low, but that's okay. Good. So, alternate is... let's just see what that alternate is going to be. It's Echo Fox Oscar Uniform. And 21,000. Like that. And our cruising altitude is likewise going to be 21,000. Good. Okay, and with that we are basically done with our setup. So let's keep that. Let's keep... Don't want the secondary. Will you get me to the primary platform, please? No? Oh boy. Why is that? I suppose I don't even want to know, huh? Welcome to the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, nonetheless, we're going to get those in a view, and then talking about frequencies. Let's do 122. Oopsie. 122.8 going into here, and then 121.5 going into here. Alright, then we can just switch over to the navs. Basically, we don't need anything here. TCAS above is good. We want nav aids, we want airports, and we can keep it on weather, that's fine. And we don't need the synthetic vision. I really prefer the standard layout over here. Okay then, and for the surveillance, it's going to be standard squawk 2000, enter that. And we can keep that, and the TCAS is going to be auto, perfect. Okay, very cool. So with that, we should basically be done over here. Let's go ahead and start engine number 2 in the hotel mode. So I'm gonna go for the prop brake, switch it on. I do seem to remember we had to click that hydraulic auxiliary pump down there in order to actually get the propeller brake. Here it is, ready. Okay, very good. So that stuff is done then, and I suppose with that done, we can go ahead and start up an engine in hotel mode. Alright, so the right side is clear, the left side is clear. So, what's that? Hydraulic system loss. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and run the final cockpit preparation checklist. So, click spots are down here, a little bit hard to find, but luckily enough we had those available up here. Okay, so let's stay here. Procedure pending. Why is that? Okay, let's go back over here. Come on, airplane. You used to do all of that really good. Well, let's clear out all the stuff we don't need, like that. And then we can go down into the normal procedures and do the final cockpit preparation checklist, please. Okay, park and brake is engaged, pressure checked, altimeter set and checked, landing elevation, automatic, FMS com nav set, fuel quantity, fuel on board. So we are showing 2,500 in here, that's looking good. Engine fuel used. Reset. And we can confirm the takeoff data in here. Okay, memo panel check, power management set for takeoff. And that is the final cockpit preparation checklist complete. So let's go ahead with the before propeller rotation. So we are going to switch on the wing light as a reminder to the ground crew that we're about to start the engine. And look at that, prop brake is out again. Yeah. Come on, hydraulic pump. So, can we just skip through the different displays over here? I did know how to do that. Been a little while, as I mentioned. So, system. Okay, so that's the aux hydraulic pump, and that should power the prop brake. Here it is. Very good. Then we can go ahead and do that again. So like that, we should be able to skip through all the systems, should we? But somehow, those click spots seem to be... Did they change the click spots? Looks like it, huh? Well, doesn't matter. We're going to do it from right down here where the actual knobs are. So, hydraulic system is looking good. Engine system is looking good. And the bleed air system is looking good as well. Electrical, everything's green. And then we're through it already. Alright, good. So, takeoff data has been confirmed already. We might just about tick the icing conditions in order to increase our speed. Let's confirm that once more. That's looking better. Okay, so before propeller rotation. Cockpit door locking system on. FMS and takeoff data confirmed. Actually, that is not correct. Ground SAT. That should be -2. Okay, we're gonna keep it on 0 then. Or we might just take it from the first TAT. Makes it even easier. Okay. So then, trim around all 3 axes is set. Tail prop. Yeah, that's an idea to close these things. Alright, so let's go into the aircraft menu. We'll take the chocks out. Prop in, main door close, cargo door close. We'll just keep the ground power. Okay, that's in, doors closed, seatbelts on, and beacon. Yeah, tell you what. Let's turn it on and then we'll start the engine straight away. Okay, before propeller rotation checklist is completed, we can clear that hydraulic loss procedure down there. And then I tell you what, we'll get rid of the prop brake. Provided I can hit that click spot. And what is it today? Okay, here we go. That's better. Alright then. With that, I'd say we're ready to go. So the prop area is confirmed clear on both sides. Let's see, they put the ground power nowhere. Oh, here. At the very front, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Nonetheless, we're going to start with the engine number 2 first. So, start button. It's first flight of the day, so we'll go starter A and B. And then let's go ahead and start 2. Okay, NH is increasing. We're at 10%, so condition lever to feather. ITT is rising. And that is looking good. Right, good start in engine number 2. Propeller is running up, low pitch indication is checked. That's where it's supposed to be. Okay, that's a good start in engine number 2. Then you guys can disconnect the ground power, please. And then let's go ahead with engine number 1. So, NH increasing. 10%. And here we go, the engine's running up, low pitch indication is checked. So that is looking very good. Okay, so we've got 2 good engine starts. Ground cockpit, go ahead, sir. So we've got 2 good starts. Please disconnect all the ground equipment, and then we see you with the clear signal on the left-hand side or in the front as you wish, and have a wonderful day. Okay, so that is looking good. We've got both engines started. Let's move over to the anti-ice then. So starter can go out. Let's just make sure that the ground power is taken away. Like here it is. Okay, so any skid test, just going to perform that once more over here. Okay, anti-skid is looking good. So we've got MP stabilized, condition levers and auto. And then probe heating is on, anti-icing is on. Then if we move down over here, then we should have the engine anti-ice. That is going to come on as well. We'll leave the airframe off for now, since right now it's not snowing or anything the likes. Okay, flaps down to 15 degrees. Okay then, let's do a quick recall. See if there's anything left. Hydraulic blue low pressure, hydraulic green low pressure. Did we forget to turn something on up here? Seems like it, huh? Question is just what and where. So, right now it looks to me like we're missing AC power on one side. So where's the generator switches? That's DC gens running. But the AC wild generators aren't running. Okay. Tell you what, I need that flashlight for a second just to be sure that we actually can see everything. Like, is there anything wrong with the engines that's currently preventing the generators from running? Well, here we go. Okay, no further comment. I just needed to add a little bit of power. Apparently in ground idle they didn't have sufficient power to feed the system. Okay. I'm happy with that, as long as everything works. Alright, looking good. So, ground Nose wheel steering is on, and that is looking good. Okay, cool. So let's go over to the airport map. Zoom in a little, please. Here we go. That's better. And then let's go ahead and read the before taxi checklist. So, flight warning system recalled, cockpit comm hatch down here and closed. Condition lever 1 and 2. Auto, anti-icing on. Then the TAU is on and checked, at least I believe it is. Let's just hit that button once more. So TAU on. Okay, TAU is on and checked. Right, anti-skid test performed, flaps 15, nose wheel steering on, before taxi checklist complete. Alright. Clear on the left side, clear on the right side. It did take a little while. You could see I became a little bit rusty with that airplane. But here we go. Taxi and takeoff lights are on. And then we can take the storm light off. Alright. Looking pretty cool, I have to say. So. Park and brake is off. Brake check. Looking good. Then let's turn off to the right. Okay, clear left side, clear right side. And we are on the way. Oh, certainly shouldn't take the engines right into ground idle here. Alright, so what else can we do? The taxi checklist we'll do later. So for now it's really just the taxi out and that's it. One thing, however, that we can actually do is to select our initial climb, which is going to be 4,000. Like that. Alright, that's looking much better. Very cool, then we are clear on the right, we are clear on the left. Most importantly, clear on the approach. Strobe light is coming on. 10 knots around the corner. Okay, line up and backtrack. Clear right side. And the approach is clear as we checked already. Very good. I'm just double and triple checking everything here. So the runway is nice and tidy. That means we can go ahead and do the backtrack rather quickly. With no delay expected, I'm just trimming the control surfaces as well here. Then we can loosen the control lock. Here we go, and we can switch over to the nav display, like that. Alright, cool, so on the backtrack we are going to turn on the weather radar. So 50 knots is reached, that's the maximum for backtracking. Alright, flight control check, Up, down, left, right. Looking good. So did you see the takeoff config test? Here we go. Takeoff config test, okay, perfect. And taxi checklist. Taxi takeoff lights on, brakes checked. We'll do the FMA in a moment. Oh, come on, airplane. Okay, and here we are. So, toga button is pushed, FMA is looking good. So FMA checked, takeoff config test performed. Then we can do the before takeoff procedure down to the line. So, takeoff briefing performed, gas block off, flight controls checked, transponder and TCAS. That's a good point. So, transponder, we're going to go on. Boost function off, airflow, norm, and we're complete down to the line. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay, so landing lights are coming on, and I do believe that's mostly it. So, let's also center the heading book. Then we can already arm LNAV, and that should be all we need. Okay, cool. So, below the line, cabin crew advised, engine bleeds on, external lights on, lateral flight director bar centered, and rudder cam centered. Before takeoff checklist complete. So let's go nav display on the right hand side as well. That's all looking good. And then we can say takeoff. Okay, power leaves in the notch. Power is set. .100 knots, checked. Why is the thing rotating on its own? I thought that bug was fixed. V1, rotate. Interesting. Okay, positive climb, gear up. Thing is completely out of trim. Looks like the trim setting we had recommended there was incorrect. Well, anyway, we are flying. Okay, speed hold. Yaw damper is on. Okay, autopilot on. Okay, let's go managed. And flaps up. So let's see where that thing is pitching right now. Interestingly enough, completely out of the flight director. Haven't seen it do that yet. At least in a certain while. Okay, so. Oh, lovely, and now it's disconnecting the autopilot. Because it's going under speed. That's interesting. I haven't seen it do that in a while. Icing, yep, that's noted. Even though I'm wondering how, because right now we're actually not in a cloud. But well, suppose that falls under things you don't need to know. So let's try again. Target speed is 170. We'll trim it out. Let's try the autopilot one more time. That's better. Okay, after takeoff checklist. Landing gear up, flaps up, power management is set to climb. This should give me 170, should it? Yeah, it does. Perfect. Okay, engine bleed on, taxi and takeoff lights off, and that's the after takeoff checklist down to the line. Oh man, that was interesting. Have to say, for flying the airplane for the first time within surely like half a year or so, we did not crash. That's a positive thing, isn't it? We did crash it. Yet. Okay, so we are just going to keep the engine anti-ice until we're past this in the front over here. And we're about to approach the transition altitude. Let's just go ahead and set our cruising altitude real quick. Okay, here we go. Flight level 210 blue. Alright, set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 65 now. Checked. I don't think I have to know what that thing is doing here. Yeah, just get me rid of anything. I don't care. I really don't know what that second FMS is doing. But I think I don't even want to know. In any case, altimeters are set and checked after takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, and here we are, climbing out into the last bits of darkness. Let's try and dim that dome light. Not that it really does much. That's still rather bright up here. Well, we'll survive. Okay, so about 30 miles to the top of climate SAS. Let's see how well it can actually hold that. Okay, engine anti-ice off. And then we'll just continue our climb out. Is there any bit of the sun left? No, huh? Sun is all down already. Oh, it's quick. On the other hand side, look at this. That's really beautiful, isn't it? I like these looks. I really like them. Graphically, it's quite a neat airplane. System-wise, well, I'm not claiming to be an ATR expert or anything the likes, but I do tend to say that there have been a couple of occasions where the airplane just did some things where I'm not 100% sure if it was meant to do them. But hey, we made it. We're on the way out, so hopefully it won't be much longer, and we'll reach a cruising altitude, accelerate, and then have a free time. Okay, seatbelts off. And that's basically it. So, no, we're gonna leave it like that. So, do we have a top of descent? Oh, they're 100 and a bit miles out. Perfectly fine. Nope, that was not what I meant to do. Oh, come on, you thing. Back to nav display. Thank you. That's easier. Okay, so 170 knots, rate of climb is about 1,000 feet a minute, perfectly fine, so in 10 minutes we'll be up at cruising altitude. Only thing I found a bit strange is fuel on board is still showing us 2,500 over there. Let's just go to the fuel page. Did we need to tell it anywhere? We did confirm the fuel, did we? So that should be running. Oh boy, what a strange airplane it is. It's really been a while since I flew it. If we go to the performance page. Okay, that's all good. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure where to confirm this now. Maybe in the FMS? I do remember there used to be a little trick how to get the fuel on board confirmed and running, but I did tell the EFB to set that thing up automatically, so for that reason I'm not exactly sure as to why it's doing it now. Well, happens. On the miscellaneous? No. Well, doesn't matter. We got the fuel page, we can always use that. We'll have to live with it. We will have to live with it. It's just neat to look at the fuel used down there and just see those numbers. Like, we used 70 kilograms of fuel per engine so far. In the A330, that would be about what I need to start my engines. And then the taxi fuel is something like 3 to 400 kilograms. Ah well, so be it. We're on the way, that's the most important thing. So here's something that I wanted to try in the ATR for a while. That is the ATR capable of flying with time acceleration? Because that would enable me to fly routes like the Binter Canarias flights from Gran Canaria to... what's it called again? Madeira. And there's a couple of nice cargo flights on the ATR as well, which are easily in the range of 3 to 4 hours, going straight across Europe. So quite a couple of interesting flights available up there, and certainly it would be nice if we were able to use any of those. So I tell you what, let's enable time acceleration for a bit. Okay, afterburner in 3, 2, 1. Look at that. It works. Very nice. I honestly gotta tell you, I did not suspect that. I really did not suspect that. So this is actually looking pretty good. Maybe an option. You guys tell me in the comments, do you prefer me to do the, let's call it, rather boring parts of the flight the way we did them yesterday on the flight with the 737-900, or do you prefer me to go time acceleration in my sim and still comment on it live? Do put it in the comments below. I'm really interested in knowing which of the two you guys are going to go for. Personally, I feel occasionally I do like that relaxing music in the videos, but ultimately what matters is what you guys think about the topics. And that's obviously what we're going to do then. So let's get it all the way up to cruising altitude. The rate of climb is slowly dropping a bit, but we're in 19,000, doing like 700 feet a minute. Surely looks much nicer on the altimeter. Now that's a point where the 737 was actually superior than the A330. The 737 took only like 18 minutes to get to the topper climb, while the A330 takes a bit longer. Okay, 1,000 to go. We don't need to arm the altitude in this plane, because in some others with similar autopilots, especially in the Dash 8 Q400, you do. So let's see, Alt Star, how well is it going to fly the level off? Surprisingly well. That's very good actually. Alt. Cruise power set. We'll simply leave the levers in the notch, and we'll fly with the maximum, with our maximum speed for the cruise, which is like what you would normally do in an ATR. As you can see, you can't overspeed the airplane anyway. But on the other hand side, true airspeed of about 260, 270 knots, and that is perfectly fine for the short routes. I did do a little bit of a calculation in the pre-flight using my sim brief and compared the ATR with the Airbus A320. Now the ATR takes about 20 minutes longer for this flight, but on the positive side, 20 minutes longer for the price of less than half of the fuel burn. So if you don't have to carry too many passengers anyway, then this is actually quite a good thing to do. And Well, it is a nice airplane after all, isn't it? Okay, so looking at the flight radar track of a couple of the real-world flights happening on this particular route, it did look like they usually got a shortcut after NKIT and proceeded somewhere directly into the finals. So hey, how about we just go ahead and do the very same thing over here. That's going to cut our flight time short a little bit, and indeed, looking at flight radar, it looked like they cut the flight time by up to 10 minutes. Which is quite amazing, seeing that it cuts the flight time by roughly 20% of the total. So that's quite amazing, and that is exactly what we are going to do now. So after N80, let's have a quick look down into the plan mode, please. Here we go. So plan, flight plan, next. So we'll just take Perho right after N80. So, clear, Blackwood, clear, discontinuity, execute. And perhaps we should get rid of the waypoint in front as well, so let's clear Amrot as well. Alright, N80 Perho. Looks good, we'll execute that. We'll take it. We will take it. Okay then, let's go out of time acceleration back in real time. Here we are. And then we can start with our approach setup. So the top of descent is just like 30 miles out now. And then let's start by having a look into the latest weather. So, Matar Helsinki. Now, can we update that somehow to the latest? I don't think we really can, which is rather unfortunate. But looking into the weather from SimBrief, it's light snow at the moment with a wind of 240 at 4, temperature -2, QNH 988, so that's more than good enough for me. Okay, so an ILS approach on runway 22 right is what we've planned and what we're going to do. And there is a couple of low-lying clouds, so unfortunately we cannot do any lovely visual approach or so, which I would normally always be in for. So let's go ahead and set it up. For the minimums, it's going to be MDA 380, and we do need to apply cold temperature correction to that, so it is going to become a minimum of 400 over here. So 400 is in, and then we can set up the frequencies, 110.7. Okay, 110.7 active both sides. Then we can pre-select the Hell VOR 114.2. And we can do that on both sides. Alright. So, at the same time, we could just go over to pre-selecting our course, and that is going to be 218 on the way in. Just gonna make sure that we turn this before we reach the next turning point. Alright, here we go. That's 218 on ILS 1. And ILS 2 set to the same. Very good. Okay, cool. And then back into LNAV. Alright, so we've got the frequency, we got the course, we got the minimum. Our FMS is basically done as well. Let's go over to the descent page then. Transition altitude, we're going to select that slightly higher, let's say 7,000 a day. And the QNH is going to be 988. Like that. Okay, landing flaps full is looking good. We're not going to activate that quite yet. And the wind is 240 at 4 and no gusts. Alright. Very good, so that's our performance setup completed. Okay, anything else? All I can think of is cross-tracking. So Xelbu is the final approach fix, 2,000 feet, and we can correct that to become 2,200 if we want to be a little bit closer. So here we go, Xelbu 2,200. Format error. Why is that? Here we go. That's better. Execute. Okay, good. So with that, I'd say we are pretty much all done up here. So top of descent, 12 nautical miles. I disagree about the 15 minutes. That is certainly a bug. But we're turning into the correct direction, so I am happy with it for now. Okay, as soon as we leave our cruising altitude, we can go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs back on, since it is not too much of a flight time left. Let's see, we're doing 290 knots at the moment. Distance to Perho is 57 miles. So, yeah. That's like, we're doing about 5 miles a minute, so we're looking at about 10, a bit more minutes towards Perho. That's perfectly fine for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and prepare our TCAS. So, traffic set to below. Very good. So, descent checklist. Flight warning system. Recalled. Landing elevation. That should read our FMS elevation there. Well, bugged. FMS, nav and performance set and checked. MDA set and checked. And arrival briefing performed. And that's the descent checklist complete. Alright, looking very good. Let's see, if we tune the weather radar down a bit, are we going to get any returns? I kinda doubt it. It's very snowy here, so if we just go maximum gain manually, maybe we can catch some of the reflections, but probably not. Okay, approaching our top of descent, let's select our target altitude down, and we're going to start by descending to flight level 100. Like that, and VNAV is armed. Oh, that's interesting. How did it go in the alt star now? There are certain things that I just don't need to understand in this plane, are there? Okay. Tell you what, you give me vertical speed, minus 1000, and then you can give me VNAV. Okay, VNAV path. That's better. Oh boy. Okay, fasten belts coming on. Don't need any anti-ice or anything yet, so that's looking superb. I honestly gotta tell you, I downloaded an update of the ATR before I started this flight, and before I downloaded that update, the plane was pretty good, and I still remember having a lot of fun with it during the time it came out. But right now, it might be me not doing everything 100% right, but it really looks to me like the airplane is rather buggy at the moment, if that is the right word to use. I could use some a little bit more insulting words, but Hans, if you're listening to this, you know what's up anyway, so just take that number 6 and you know what to do with it. Alright, left at cruising altitude, in the descent. What else could we possibly wish for? And don't say it, guys. I know, a lot. Right, the descent checklist just opened itself one more time. Well, so be it, we can deal with that. So, flight warning system set, landing elevation checked, FMS set, MDA 400, and arrival briefing performed, descent checklist complete. Leaves the approach checklist next, that's fine with me. So, quick look outside, as it was so nice. Is that a little bit of northern lights up here? Yes, it is. Lovely. Wow. We're really lucky to see them on both flights. First on the 24th, and now we see them on this one as well. That's really cool. Look at that. Just look at that. Beautiful. Really beautiful. We definitely caught the right time to do this flight, doing it in winter instead of summer. Can't even really see them from flight deck. Well, it's rather bright up here. That's probably all we're going to see from those northern lights from the flight deck, is it? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so straight back into it. Down we go, continue our descent, passing 14,000 now, so it's only going to be some 10 minutes or so until we are going to land at Helsinki. And then hopefully going to be quick taxiing as well. Okay. So, not much we can do right now. These signs are on already. The anti-ice is not needed yet. So that's actually, yeah, pretty much all we can do. So we'll just sit here and continue our flight. Gotta be lucky at times, huh? What do you guys think? You prefer the floodlight being on over here? Or do you prefer the floodlight being off? Personally, I gotta say, the fact that it illuminates the entire glare shield up here is something where I'm saying, like, yeah, I'd rather see it off, honestly. Like so. It also makes it easier to look out the windows. Normally I would expect the floodlight just to light up the part below over here, but I'm sure Microsoft did look into it when they decided to light up the glare shield as well. But can we see the light bulb for that anywhere? Had to be this one, huh? Well, I mean, it is flooding the entire cockpit with light, not just the main panel, so I do suppose it's fine the way it is. Okay, so let's get rid of it again. Okay. This somewhat looks a bit cooler anyway, doesn't it? At least personally I really prefer it. Okay, 1,000 to go, and let's go ahead and continue our descent. We're going down all the way to 3,000 feet. Like so. And then set altimeter 988. Okay, set once, twice, and can we do it over here as well, please? It doesn't let us. It's stuck. Okay. I would have thought they fixed these kind of bugs in the meantime, but looks like they really didn't. Oh, that's a pity. Okay, passing 100. So, landing lights coming on, seatbelts are on, and fuel pumps are both on as well. Looking good. So let's do the approach checklist then. Seatbelts on, landing lights on, altimeters 988 set and checked, and cabin altitude. Okay, 500 feet descending, cabin altitude checked, approach checklist complete. So it looks really high when you just look at the VNAV gauge here, but seeing our total distance to go, where is it? Progress page. That's page 2, no. Okay, progress page 1. Distance 32 miles, 7,500 feet. That is actually alright. Sometimes it's really interesting what these aircraft can come up with. By the way, no comment on that. No comment over here on that little route. Let's call it a route. I'm not sure what else it's supposed to be. Maybe an anchor? Well, Hans, you know what to do with an anchor. Alright. So, dome light coming off, so that our eyes can get really used to the darkness on the ground. And then we'll have the airplane turn final automatically in nav mode. And just because there is this little problem with the route up there, I am going to pre-select the heading bug. Let's say something like 190, so that we can quickly switch over and switch to the ILS as soon as the airplane starts the final turn. I'm going to keep the speed up high, we're still rather far out. So down here we can see it, 15 nautical miles to run at the moment. And a plane like the ATR is easily capable of maintaining this speed all the way down to like 10 miles or even a little bit less. Like I've seen ATRs do 240 knots until 6 miles. Now, we don't want to come in that fast. Hey Elnaf, you should start your turn in a moment. Here we go. That looks interesting down there. Okay, engine anti-ice on. Okay, starting to reduce that power a little bit. Doing interesting maneuvering, overshooting in here. Well, I'll tell you what, that's not the kind of maneuvering I want to see, so Merry Christmas, heading select. And vertical speed. Alright, we're coming out just underneath the glide slope. Let's go ahead and arm the approach mode. Localizer and glide slope blue. That's our landing run. Very good job, Elnaf. That's, yeah. Very good job. 12 miles out, 220 knots. Easy. $1,000 to go. Icing AOA. Well, I disagree. Looks like we will be in VMC for pretty much the entire arrival. Okay, let's get the speed down towards 200 knots. Okay, 200 knots, looking good. Then we should, here we go, lock star, glide star. And go around altitude 3,000, let's see. Should be 2,000. Here we go, 2,000 feet set. Okay, localizer and glide slope. 9 miles out, 190 knots, looking very good. Okay, let's start a reduce. We're at 7 miles now, 190 knots. I would say that is perfectly fine for an airplane like this. Runway is inside already. Lights are now all on, signs are on. Very good. Okay, flaps 15. Gear down. As you can see, no problem to reduce the speed at all. Easy going. Everything's easy going. Okay, interesting. Didn't we just have the flap speed symbol? Let me check that again. Isn't that the flap overspeed? Well, I don't care. Let's get him down. Flaps 30, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, landing gear 3 greens, flaps 30, power management. Takeoff, TRU low speed is checked, icing AOA light. It's going to stick on and external lights on before landing checklist complete. Okay, automatics are out. Then let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun today. 118 is the approach speed. We're going to do slightly more, like 120 or so, just to be on the safe side. There shouldn't be any icing on our wings right now, but normally I would just ask the pilot monitoring at that point, yeah, can you just have a look at the wings, see if there's any ice? But, well, in the sim, that's not always that easy. Okay, so 500 continue. Checked. Continue. Right, and we're down. Okay, we'll let it roll for a bit, and then we take the exit towards the end. Or shall we just take the next one? Might be even easier. Very good braking action here, and here we go. So, looks like the surface condition is good. There is no snow anywhere on the surfaces here. Okay, runway is vacated. So, gust lock coming into place. We didn't pick up any ice on the arrival. That much I'm very sure of, since we barely flew through the clouds on the way in. So, here we go. Okay, weather radar can go off, and that's about it. Okay, 52 minutes flight time. I would say that is a pretty good outcome. Then let's go straight and to the gates. We will be parking on the main apron, and for now we'll just go down on Sierra, which is where we are right now, cross the runway then to the left and over to the apron, where we're going to park just on the opposite side of the terminal. Okay, after landing checklist. Radar, standby, flight controls locked, flaps 0, trims, reset, landing and strobe lights off, anti and de-icing. I'm going to keep the probe heats on just in case we do happen to find some snow or so. Okay, on, probe heats on, TRU off after landing checklist complete, and after 2 minutes we can shut down engine number 1, and I tell you what, we do have those 2 minutes. So number 1, feather, then cut off. Okay, clear to cross runway 22 left. Strobes are coming on, and we are clear on the left, clear on the right. Okay, we'll cross Zulu and then we'll go left on the Juliet, which is the second taxiway here. Clear left side, clear right side. Interesting, my chart seems to disagree with the airport layout right now. Should have been a left-hand turn onto Juliet here, according to my chart, but looks like the airport layout seems to disagree. That's interesting. Well, in that case, just look away for a second, huh? Here we go. That's better. Yeah, sorry for that little one, guys. My Navigraph charts indicated me that going straight ahead I should be able to get onto Juliet, but looks like I'm not. And if you are familiar with the airport, then maybe you know when such a change happened, or if there is anything wrong with the current edition of the charts, or what exactly might be the cause for the difference here between the chart layout and the taxiway layout. Okay, so condition lever 2 is off, that's after landing checklist complete. Then let's accelerate a little bit again, we got a long distance to cover after all. A little bit of right rudder needed, it seems. But that does actually seem logical. And here we go, back to the left. Alright then, we'll park opposite side of the gate, so 134 is the one where we are going to. Cut that corner a bit. And then we are just about entering the apron here. So we continue until the green lights are going left again, and then our gate is going to be the first on the left hand side. So speed 15 knots on aprons, looking good. Approaching the next turn, and right within the turn there should be the transition to gate 134. We'll just gotta time it carefully to turn off the lights in time and still find our way into the gate. So slightly left. Now where is that taxi line? Here it is. 134, looking good. Alright. Taxi and turn off lights off. This is looking good. Whoa, brakes on, brake failure. What the hell? What was that? I hit the brakes, nothing happened. Oh boy. That's an interesting revival of the ATR for sure, that much I can say. Okay, so, doesn't matter, let's shut it. You go feather. Prop brake. It's running down, looking good. On. Okay, the engine is stopped, then let's go ahead and get a ground power, please. Here it is. Okay, GPU on. That is much better. Okay, cool. So, then we can shut down engine number 2. Like that. Parking brake is set already. Oh boy, that was interesting. That was really interesting. Okay, so let's get that storm light on. And then seatbelts off. Both propellers have stopped. Beacon off. Okay, parking checklist, please. Parking brake, engage, taxi and takeoff lights. Off, condition lever 2. Feather, beacon. Off, transponder. Standby. Okay then, tail prop is coming in. Doors are opening, chocks in place, and seatbelts off. We are certainly going to leave the airplane over here. I've had my fair share of fun with it. So let's see how we are parking. Man, we did not damage it. Even though there is not much missing over there. Oh boy, that was a fun little flight. I do have to say, I didn't expect the ATR to act up that much. Sure enough, part of that might have been introduced from me being rather absent and sitting here with the flight manual and doing everything out of the book as I'm doing it. So I'm pretty sure that I have missed a couple steps, but still the airplane had some rather interesting behaviors on this one. So do let me know in the comments if you liked this style of video, like taking an airplane that I haven't flown in a long while and just flying it for the very first time again. Do let me know if you like this type of video and this style of video, and if yes, then you can be sure I'm going to do some more. If not, then we'll return to the previous style where we are going to, well, let's say prepare properly for flights. I did, however, find this one was a lot of fun to do, and don't worry, overall we will obviously stay on the professional side in this channel, so you don't need to worry about that part. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Nordics, and I do hope you enjoyed seeing the Northern Lights here again as well. In any case, tomorrow, on the 26th of December, we will have something very interesting coming up. But until then, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do leave a like in the YouTube algorithms as well, as it does really help out the channel. And be sure to subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching. I see you all again on the next one. And if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.